What's the deal with summer travel? Find out where to go and how to save on this episode of What's the Deal? I'm your host, Chris Rux. Today we talked with travel expert Mark Jackson about summer travel destinations. As you all know, prices are up across the board on everything, and travel's not excluded from that. Mark shares some tips and tricks on how to save and still have a great summer vacation with your family. Here's my interview with Mark Jackson. Hey Mark, thanks for coming back to chat with me again.
Hey, how's it going?
I didn't scare you away the first time, so it's nice you're back.
Absolutely.
It's officially summer travel planning season. What do people need to know about booking summer travel for this year?
It's really expensive, Chris. It's honestly the worst prices I've ever seen for travel since I've been paying attention to this sort of stuff. We have a number of different factors going on this summer. We still have a lot of staffing issues across the board in travel, so airlines are cutting back schedules in busy summer season, even though people want to fly during that time because they don't have the staff to operate their flights. There's also, of course, we're coming out of the pandemic and people want to travel. There's this phrase that people are using called revenge travel, where people are basically saying, I don't care what the price is, we're going on this trip. We haven't traveled in 2 years, so this is what we're doing. And as a result, hotels and rental cars and flights as well are able to charge higher prices because the demand is there.
Well, there's got to be some travel destinations that you still think are going to be hot this year, especially for families. What do you have in mind?
My biggest recommendation right now is cruising, especially if you can drive to the port. I know that gas prices are high, so that's, road trips are going to be more expensive this summer as well, plus the hotels that you're staying in on the road. But if you can drive to a cruise port, yes, you have to pay for parking once you get there. But once you're on board, the pricing for families makes it really reasonable. Of course, a cruise ship is an all-inclusive vacation. Usually you can buy a drinks package if you're an alcohol drinker as well. But all your food, all your activities, your live entertainment at night, sometimes a private island if you're leaving from Florida, going to the Bahamas. It's a really fantastic trip, and compared to land-based prices for resorts this summer, it's looking pretty attractive.
And sometimes it's just really nice to pay that one fee up front and be done with it, and not have to worry about pulling out your wallet every couple minutes while you're on a trip. Exactly.
It takes a lot of the anxiety out of a trip. This is why they're popular to begin with, even when prices across the board aren't super high. It's a reason why I love cruising, because once you get on board, it's smooth sailing, pun intended.
So any other places for folks that maybe aren't interested in cruises? I know you mentioned at one point Orlando is a good spot. Tell me a little bit more about why you think that might be a good destination this summer.
Yeah, Orlando, of course, is home to all the theme parks, not only Disney World's 4 theme parks, but you have SeaWorld and you have Universal Orlando's 2 theme parks with Harry Potter. So you have a lot of choices. The Disney theme parks have gotten a lot more expensive. If your family is into Harry Potter, the Universal theme parks are a little bit more reasonably priced. You're also able to stay on property at one of their resort hotels and get early access. A lot of those hotels are pretty reasonably priced. Orlando has a ton of hotels around the theme parks. You don't actually have to stay on property. You do lose out on some benefits sometimes if you do so. But if you're trying to really save money, you can find a sub $100 hotel this summer, even despite everyone coming into town. But you may have to drive a little bit to the theme parks and may not have a fireworks view at night.
San Diego, that's another destination you mentioned. What about there?
Yeah, San Diego, of course, great beach town in California, lots to do. You have another SeaWorld over there, funny enough. You also have the San Diego Zoo, world famous San Diego Zoo. So you have a ton of activities for families. The beach is, of course, free. So anywhere that you can get to a beach, you kind of have your activities built in if you're looking to save money. San Diego is great. It's located, right next to Tijuana as well. So one travel hack I've seen people do is actually stay at a Hyatt place across the border in Tijuana and commute into San Diego.
The Caribbean's always a popular destination. Why do you recommend that? And where have you been in the Caribbean?
So the Caribbean is, of course, in hurricane season in the summer, but families looking to maybe save a few bucks can look at different islands that are a little less popular, a little bit more off the beaten path. American Airlines just started flying direct to San Andres, which is owned by Colombia, funny enough. It's not really super close to Colombia. It's actually further north, a little closer to the United States, near Costa Rica. I've been there before. It's a lot more reasonably priced. It's, of course, got that beautiful Caribbean water. So something worth checking out.
Well, that's a hack if I've ever heard one. I've never heard of San Andres, so it's a great place to visit still to get that Caribbean feel, like you said, but maybe save some money. That's a good idea.
Absolutely.
National parks of the Southwest, where in particular?
So there are a lot of national parks in the Southwest that you can drive to as a family and visit. There's a national parks pass that you can buy that's under $100 for your entire car to get into all of these. So it's a really cheap family vacation. You just have to, of course, pay for gas and lodging. There are some national parks, though, that are still under a reservation system, like Yosemite, super popular park in California with all their beautiful waterfalls and cliffs and the valley. Definitely is worth researching a little bit, but bigger parks like the Grand Canyon and Bryce Canyon are open for business and easy to drive in between, and you can make a nice week-long trip.
What's the nearest national park to your house, and do you have a spare bed?
The nearest national park would actually be Saguaro National Park in Tucson, Arizona, which is not a super popular one, but if you love cacti, it's a really beautiful spot with forests of saguaro cactus.
And the second part of my question?
I don't have one for you now.
Okay. Thanks, Mark. Really nice of you. You've mentioned Mexico as well. Why is Mexico a good destination this summer?
I love Mexico. It's always a great time and excellent food, great service. Cancun, Playa del Carmen on the Caribbean side, another nice Caribbean destination that's reasonably priced. And then on the West Coast, Cabo San Lucas, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, all towns that are served by American Airlines, definitely from my home airport of Phoenix, Arizona. So once you get there, the price for activities and for food and drink, especially if you're staying at not a super ritzy resort, is super reasonably priced. And it's just a great time.
You just recently got back from a Disney cruise. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So in the past, I've really balked at the pricing for Disney cruises, and I come from a very extreme Disney loving background. I go to the parks a bunch and used to go to college right next to Disneyland. So Disney's got my wallet for sure. But the cruise lines have just always been so expensive, and they still are pricey compared to other cruise vacations for families. However, now that we're looking at the Walt Disney World and Disneyland raising their prices per day and adding on paid fast pass component, the hotels on property are super expensive. You're looking at the whole trip. Once you get there, it's about the same price or more expensive than a Disney cruise, and you still have to fight all the crowds in the parks. So I was excited when I got on board to find that the 3-night Disney cruise that I went on was just amazing. You have a private island that Disney owns that they take you to, Castaway Cay. It's huge. They actually have an airstrip on the island.
Wow.
So we actually ran like a 5K on the island. Plenty of room for everyone to spread out on board the ship. There's no fighting for beach chairs. Everyone has an umbrella. Really a fantastic time. If you're into characters, if you've got young kids, there's characters all over the place that you get to meet. There's not a long line like in the theme parks. I think Mickey had a hour-long wait to meet him the other day at Walt Disney World when they allowed characters to interact with the guests again. So people are able to actually hug Mickey Mouse again. So it's just a great time for families, and again, like another cruise vacation, it's all your food's included. So when you factor all those things in, it may actually be a better value if you're looking for a Disney branded vacation.
And they just do things right. They just seem to have it all figured out. And, it might not be for everyone, but if you want to do a cruise anyway, Disney just does things right.
I always like to joke that Disney is more of a logistics company than a entertainment company. So whenever you have those big crowds, Disney just does it the best. So whether you're a Disney fan and you've never cruised before, or you're a cruise fan, but you've never done a Disney cruise, I think that this is an excellent option this summer for family travel.
Costs of everything are up a little bit right now. We know that. And you said travel's more expensive as well. Are there any ways to save on booking flights or hotels or rental cars?
My go-to to save money on any vacation are always points and miles. So I'm Brad Zeal's credit card expert. I use credit card points to travel the world in business class and first class sometimes, or even economy if these flights are super expensive like this summer. I will say that with summer travel and everyone booking, and a lot of people booking on points even, which is great to see, your favorite resort or destination that you're looking at may be sold out already for the dates that you were looking for. If you're flexible, you might be able to find, a cheaper flight or a flight using award miles. You just have to really be flexible. It's always been my advice to people, even outside of this super inflation travel environment. So look around. If you can delay the trip maybe to later in the summer after 4th of July, don't try and book something over the 4th of July or Memorial Day. You might be able to find some deals still.
Deals relative to current pricing, not necessarily deals relative to all-time pricing.
Exactly.
What else do people need to know about booking summer travel this year?
If you're thinking about booking a trip, book it as soon as you see this video. If you wait, there's not going to be a deal.
Good to know. All right, we'll get people on it right away. Well, thanks, Mark. Thanks for joining me again today. It was good to chat with you. If I bring my own air mattress, can I stay at your house?
We'll think about it.
Thank you. I appreciate you considering me. All right. Well, thanks, Mark. Good to see you again.
See you later, Chris.
Thank you, Mark, for all those tips. I really appreciate your insight. Mark's a good one to go to. Just don't try to stay at his house. He doesn't like guests. Thanks to Brad's Deals for sponsoring today's episode. If you want to find some travel deals or deals on anything at all, click on the QR code on the screen. It'll take you directly to Brad's Deals for all kinds of savings on travel and more. Click on that QR code or check out the link in the description below. So far, all my family and I have planned for this summer are t-ball and softball games every weekend. Forever. Love my kids. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.